Today I'm going to change my handlebars and grips. First off, you're going to want to start by loosening these bolts here, the 1/4 inch Allen wrench. You can get it at Ace Hardware for like $1 or $2. Also, I picked up this tool set at Harbor Freight for about $5. These are star drivers or Torx. These are also known as tamper proof, but usually tamper proof have a hole in the center. These don't. But you're gonna need these to take off the controls here and there. There's points right here and here, and there and there, and then also there's a bolt here, and then one underneath, right underneath there, if you can see it right there. And it's like that on both sides. So I'm gonna take all that off and then I'll show you where I'm at. I got these 4 bolts out. Now I can just, you gotta be kind of careful. Don't want this to fall off. And also, I forgot to mention, I like to put a blanket over the gas tank so I don't scratch it up. And then right there, you can just pull the bars right out. But first, I gotta finish undoing these right here. This bolt here uses a T25, while this bolt here uses a T27. I got this off here, the other part's sitting over there, and then I pulled these off, and this just comes right off now. One thing important to notice is there's this little notch here, and there's a matching one on the bottom of this right there. You want to make sure whenever you're putting it back that those line up nice so that everything fits on snug. See, this comes off right here. And the nice thing as well, normally what I would do to get this grip off, because the left grip is glued, normally what I'd do is jam a screwdriver under there and use WD-40 to kind of pry it off and twist it and get it off. But I think I'm just gonna leave it on these bars, so I'm not gonna do that right now. But other people cut the grip off, but I don't like to waste a grip that way. Also, the nice thing about the throttle side is I just loosened up this bolt here and the bottom one down here. So, and since my handlebars are loose, I can just pull them to the one side a little bit, and then this side will just slide right off. It's off now, and then these bars just come off fairly easy as well. So see, now I got these bars off. And if you'll notice, this is grease right here. That's for the throttle. You need it to be that way. Here's the new bars I'm putting on. These are the stock bars from a, I believe it's a 2014 Sportster 48, and I'm going with the stock grips as well because I prefer how those look. As you'll notice on the underside of these bars, they have this little dip in right here. This is called a dimple, or they're referred to as dimpled bars. You need that for Harley Davidson bikes if you're going to be replacing the handlebars, because that allows this cable from the controls to run in that little groove under there. This part right here is referred to as knurled. That just allows the clamp to get a better bite down on the bars. So that's good to have. Also, to make this easier, before I clamp these new bars in, I'm going to slide the throttle side on here after lubing this area. I'm going to slide it on, that way it'll make it install easier. I forgot to mention, while you can slide this off without pulling the bolts all the way out, if I were just changing the bars, that would be fine. But in this case, since I'm also changing the grips, I had to pull this bolt out here and also the one underneath here. And that way I have access to the grip to pull that off. Some people recommend loosening the throttle cables. However, you need a little bit of play in them so that your throttle valve can close properly. So I'm just going to leave them how they are and pop the cable off cautiously with a screwdriver. As you can see, it has a little bit of play in it right there. So I'm going to just lift it over that lip with a screwdriver and install the new grip. You want to make sure not to lose these when you're taking the old grip off and putting the new one on. There's one on each cable. To pull the old grip off was pretty easy. Now that I have the cables in here like this, I just gotta slide them into the right position. That's where I might need a screwdriver, but I didn't need it to take it off. This is how the cable should look once it's seated into the new grip. Got the bars tightened on using that same Allen wrench here. Got them adjusted to where I want them. Now I just have to put all the controls back on. So I got my left grip all on and everything and tightened up, and the right one I still need to put the brake line on. The only problem is, since these bars are raised a little bit, I'm gonna have to change my brake cable. Typically though, if you're going from the stock bars to some drag bars, you don't need to change your cables. But if you're putting any amount of rise in your bars, or especially like my bike, as you can see, it has some risers on it already, or if you're going with ape hangers or baby ape hangers, you're typically gonna have to extend your cables and your brake line. I finished putting the handlebars on, and I had to install a new brake line, so I also had to bleed the brakes when I was installing that. Alright, hope that's helpful.